Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video here on Raid Shadow Legends. And in today's video, we're actually going to be doing another new player guide here, or maybe not, right? Maybe this is something that you haven't really paid too much attention to, and a trap that I fell in, and probably a lot of people fell in when they first started the game. We're here to talk about the Great Hall. Now, this is something that you're going to be working towards every single day. You're going to be doing this largely through Classic, Arena. There's some other stuff. We'll talk about some of the other aspects of the Great Hall as well. But why this is so important when it comes to the missions for the Arbiter. And you really need to make sure that you're not upgrading things that you're going to regret, because it's going to cause huge problems when it comes to getting her unlocked and finishing those missions. That's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. If you do find the information in this video helpful, then please do click on that subscribe button. Please ring that notification bell for all videos Raid Shadow Legends. And before we get started with the rest of the video, I do want to remind people that if you haven't started an account on Raid Shadow Legends yet, then you can download the game using the QR code in the top right hand of the screen, or using the link in the description down below to get yourself a free Epic Rector draft alongside some other freebie resources which you'll use. Also, by account level 15, you will get yourself this Ugo, who is one of the best epic characters in Raid Shadow Legends. I am using them every single day on my roster, so don't delay, and they'll definitely help you out in your start. All right, so let's start the video in the Great Hall, right? And I'm gonna remove my cam box here just for a moment, because I think it's important to know that I did all when I think in the first 2 weeks, I did a lot of this, and as you can see, that there's upgrades all across the board for every single stat, with the exception of void characters, because I didn't really have anyone at that time, and honestly, even still, void characters are some of the rarest in the game, so it's not really that big of a priority. That being said, I did get a free bellower from a promo code, which is why I put even one into accuracy. Now, one thing that I will say is that I believe, there is an early mission that does require you to have a couple. It could even be one 1 out of 10 on one affinity. I'm not entirely sure, but I know that after that point, that's when you really need to start focusing on what you're going to actually choose. Now, one of the most important stats in the game, we've said this in multiple other videos, there's two actually, but it's accuracy and speed. Cannot boost speed in the Great Hall, at least in this particular affinity bonuses. So we're going to be focusing on accuracy. Now, there is a mission. You'll see here that I have Force 4 out of 10 for accuracy. And the reason for that is because there is an Arbiter mission that requires 2 at 4 out of 10. But after you do that, then you need to focus on 1 all the way up to the top to 10. And that can take you a while on just one stat. This is honestly a pretty lengthy grind. Not gonna lie, this is pretty rough, but you know, it's gonna save you time by hopefully not making these sorts of mistakes that I did, so that you could do this a little bit quicker. So the second stat, or the second kind of affinity that you choose, will be entirely up to your roster and what benefits you the most. For me, you guys, if anyone's been following along on my videos, I pulled a Geomancer, really amazing character, and so that's the reason why I went 4 out of 10 on Force down here in the red row here. The reason why I'm focusing on blue or magic characters for my accuracy, this is what I'm scaling up right now, is because the majority of my good characters are magic-based characters. We have Alice the Wanderer, who obviously everyone's getting for free right now, which is utterly amazing. And then Kale, my beginner character, right, who is also really, really good, using them almost everywhere. Ugo, right? If you use the QR code in the top right hand of the screen, you're going to be getting a free Ugo at account level 15 as well, who is an amazing debuffer too. All of these characters require accuracy. And so I have more, right? I have an Islan here, who I don't use an insane amount, but all of my top characters are magic. I feel that for some reason, maybe it's just my roster, I feel like the majority of good characters seem to be blue/magic based. So there you go. That's why I'm doing that. I want to show in my missions category right now the affinity bonus. This is where I'm at. Now, I'm pretty far along, right? You can see on the bottom hand side, my square's blocking it a little bit, but I'm at 237 out of 286. I'm in part 4 of the Arbiter missions. I'm about 45 days in or so now. And I need to get that affinity bonus, the magic accuracy, up to 7. I just upgraded to 6 Yesterday. So I still have a bit of arena grinding to do, but it's not impossible, right? It is slow and it will seem slow, but it does actually get better. But if you really need to look ahead on these missions, and I'll just not just for Great Hall and not just for arena, but just in general, it really pays to kind of like scroll through here and see like what's upcoming, especially in the section that you're in for the arbiter missions. And as you go through here, you're going to find here there's gold 1 in classic arena. That's actually not too bad, but then you see affinity bonus level 8, right? And it's just one bonus to level 8. So that's why you need to build that tall. It is so, so important that you do that. And it jumps from 8. I don't know if it actually has, is there one for 9? I think it just jumps straight from 8. Oh, there is a one for 9. And then from 9 and then 10 at the very end. You can find that over here. What's interesting about this, by this point, you should be at gold 3 or 4, something like that. And winning 200 classic arena battles is essentially probably going to give you enough of those gold ingots that you need to upgrade to affinity bonus level 10 anyways. But there you go. So you need to get 1 all the way to 10. Choose the accuracy that is most relevant to your roster. I happen to do it for magic characters, but if you have a lot of spirit characters or if you have a lot of force characters, do what you want. But I do recommend the accuracy stat. You need to get 2 of them at 4 and then 1 of them at 10. Make sure you do that. Make sure you choose the one that's most relevant to your roster. And it actually doesn't take too long to do. Surprisingly, for me being 45 days into the game, I've made my way up to gold 5, which is shocking, right? Because there's a lot of tiers here in Classic Arena. But unlike Tag Arena, I don't have to wait a week in order to climb a tier. So you can keep doing that. But what I recommend, and I'm pretty much there at the top, right? And once you get to gold 4, you start getting about 4 of these gold tokens per win. So that's going to really stack up. Like I said, 200 wins that you need before that last one times 4 is going to get you 800 of those, which is pretty close, if not the upgrade for level 10. But do keep that in mind. I don't know if I mean, I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to get to whatever this is, Platinum 5 or that. I mean, I have a pretty crappy arena team. I've been sniping bots. And that's one thing, if you guys aren't aware, bots are a thing in the arena, and so you can see here, right? Like, or I'm assuming they're bots, right? If you scroll through and you refresh enough, which is behind the QR code here, then you will get those. Now it is really difficult, right? So I'll show you. Like these are the two, the two ones that I just won, right? Because I'm sniping these like single character defenses here because the rest of it is just near impossible for my roster, right? I mean, if you look at who I'm using, it's not bad, but it's nowhere near competitive enough to do anything like this. I'm using Alice as my main damage character. I'm using Wukong as my arena speed lead. And then I have Ugo for putting on defense down, and then a fast apothecary just to basically bump up the speed bar of Alice in this case. So that's what I try to do. Let's see. Oh, we found one. We found a bot, right? So I can go in there and do this, run it on auto. I'm assuming I'm a bot. Like I don't know why a regular player would put a level 1 character there. On their defense, I get my materials. I get also some tournament points depending on what's available, and then 4 of my gold tokens, right? And so there you go. And you kind of just need to do that. Usually, not always, but usually if you do a refresh, you can see like 1, maybe 2 bots if you're lucky. If you're super lucky, you might see more than that. But usually at least 1 or 2 per time. And so this does require you to kind of, refresh a fair bit, which is unfortunate, but that's just how things are, especially if you want to climb. But I'm at gold 5, and you could argue that I don't even deserve to be up here. But if you do enough of this, like you'll maintain your position as well. I'm not, because there's probably a lot of some inactive players slash bots in there. Like there's a lot of accounts in here that you're not going to really get thrown back that bad. Like in terms of the battle log, yeah, it's happening a fair bit. I'm getting chucked back. I don't know. I'm losing the majority of my battles. But I guess I play enough that I'm still maintaining my league. And so that's not really a big problem. I'm surprised I actually won 2 of these down here against like some legendary characters. The shocking. It must have been my speed. I must have outsped them. And Alice just soloed them. But other than that, though, you can kind of see the battle log history there. And as long as you're also doing the same, it shouldn't be that bad for you to keep up. Now, as far as the other ones, I do want to talk a little bit about the other parts of the Great Hall, because there is more to that, especially the live PvP area bonuses, which I'll admit I'm not a huge, I'm not a master at this in terms of what you should be upgrading, but I'll tell you what you probably shouldn't be upgrading, in my opinion anyways, is the stuff that's super easy. Like potion keeps. Trust me, like eventually once you build up your roster enough, it's not really going to be that big of a deal. Once again, though, when I do get the time to do some live PvP and when you actually unlock it, which I forget what level it is. I want to say I think it's level 50 when you get live PvP. So some of you watching this might not be there yet, but you really want to kind of just focus on certain areas where you want to see more progress. I kind of accidentally put it into accuracy here at Fire Knight's Castle. The good thing about upgrading these, I suppose, is that it's across the board. So it doesn't matter what type of characters they are. It just depends on the dungeon. But because I wanted to make a lot of progresses in Demon Lord, that's where I ended up putting in some of my bonuses. I put in accuracy and speed. Those are the two where I wanted the biggest improvement, especially if I'm starting to climb Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare eventually. You know, there's going to be a part where I'm going to be hitting a bit of a wall on accuracy. And you can see with the levels up, you know, you get +8 per level up. So that's a maximum of 80 for accuracy and then +20 for speed. That's pretty good across the board when it comes to those stats. And there is ones for other ones. I guess there isn't one. Is there not one for Chimera? There's not one for Chimera yet. So, I mean, those are the ones that are most relevant for me. I think Demon Lord for a lot of just people in general, that's going to be relevant. Possibly Doom Tower might be relevant for people who are trying to climb there. I would actually, in this case, do a mixture of resistance and accuracy. I think that's pretty good there. Possibly some speed as well. Like, these are the best stats in the game, essentially, to help you avoid and also improve your chances to land debuffs, right? The individual dungeon stuff, I'm not sure that this is really a big deal. This might be late game, right? If you're doing the hard mode dungeons, but for the regular mode dungeons, you can kind of do that without this. And, you know, I'm already at Dragon's Lair 25 and I don't have any of this. So again, maybe for hard mode, you do want some of this and it might make it easier, but I'll tell you that for normal difficulty, it's not really necessary. So where I want to make the biggest improvements are going to be in maybe late game faction wars. I can't comment on that because I'm not that far because my roster is not that deep. But at least in the beginning, when you first unlock this, for me, it's going to be doing, and I'm going to be putting into Demon Lord. But let me know if that's wrong or if that advice is really bad. If there's someone more experienced watching the video, feel free to let me know as well in the comments down below. But I do want to focus on the Great Hall Affinity bonuses because that's going to be the biggest crutch. Oh, clan versus clan finished. Hey, that's cool. Let's see what happened, right? Since it's exciting, we're in the video. 1.49 million to 1.27 million. Did I get anything good? I got a Dark Elf 5-star ring. A shield wears shields with 5% of damage dealt after attacking. That's not too bad. That's an HP ring, though, unfortunately. And we got, who's that? A Lizardman ring. I have, like, nobody in the a Lizardman HP ring, too. Not even an attack ring. 25% chance to change critical hit into normal when attacked before the first turn. All right. I mean, I guess we'll keep that stuff. So that was just ending as this happened while I was recording the video. That's going to be the end of this video, everyone. I just wanted to give people a heads up about the Great Hall so they're not making too many mistakes when it comes to upgrading those because, you know, the arena grind is real and you do want to get Arbiter unlocked as soon as you possibly can. And don't forget, if you haven't started playing Raid Shadow Legends yet, then make sure that you download using the QR code in the top right hand of the screen to get yourself a free Epic Rector Drath. Also, by account level 15, you will get yourself a free Ugo as well, one of the best epics in the game. Also, don't forget that you can use the promo code Monkey King to get yourself a free legendary Sun Wukong. We're not done yet. Also, there is Alice the Wanderer for a free 7-day logging calendar that you'll get at the end of that. So 2 free legendary champions, 2 free epic champions. This is the best time to start Raid. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and you'll be greatly helping out the channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.